Welcome everybody to our new podcast about theories of psychiatry, personality, and defense mechanism. So we have intelligent doctors today to discuss about theories of personality and defense mechanism. We have Dr. Anmol Paudel, Dr. Virendra Yadav, Dr. Prakash Khadka, and myself Chaitanya. So let's start our discussion about the Sigmund Freud. Who was the Sigmund Freud, Dr. Khadka? Can you explain about very brief about Sigmund Freud? Dr. Khadka.
Okay,
Father of psychoanalysis.
Yeah, he was a father of psychoanalysis, and he propounded many theories regarding this psychoanalysis. According to Sigmund Freud, we have a barrier in our mind repression. The dysfunction is done by the preconscious part of our mind. This was the one explanation theories given by the Sigmund Freud. So, Dr. Paudel, can you explain about our brain conscious and unconscious level, briefly about this unconscious and conscious level?
Yeah, thank you, Chaitanya. Actually, the Sigmund Freud was the father of psychoanalysis.
Yeah.
He actually focused the consciousness level of the brain and unconscious portion of the some parts of the brain experiences. So what he says is consciousness is a part of mind which is essential to us.
Okay.
If we are conscious, mean we are assist to everything. For example, Virendra is left of me, light is here, Prakash is listening to me. I'm conscious. I'm conscious with all respects. It means I'm conscious with my listening, with my all senses. I can feel the touch. I can listen the music. I am conscious. That means consciousness.
That's one part.
Yeah, that is one part. Unconscious means repressed memory.
Yeah.
It means you don't remember those things.
Yeah.
When you are unconscious and something happens to you, you don't remember those things. That is unconsciousness. Means primary process of thinking and illogical and primitive thoughts are not there. For example, when you are sleeping and you are not dreaming. When you are sleeping and when you are not dreaming, you don't know anything what is going inside your flat room or your home. That is called state of unconsciousness.
Okay. Thank you, Dr. Paudel. So let's talk about more about the topographical theory. I would like to explain topographic theory. So primary process of thinking is on the basis of the topographic theory. On the basis of topographic theory, the primary process thinking is illogical and primitive. So the drives and desires that one is born with are part of the unconscious mind, and the content of the preconscious mind can be brought into the awareness by focusing, and an unconscious thought can reach conscious awareness. The unconscious thought can be reached to conscious awareness. So emotional release and discharge after the continuous relieving painful experience that has been repressed is known as the ever reaction.
Please elaborate more about topographical theory.
Yeah. So topographical theory is basically this is the primary process of thinking. So process of thinking.
What sort of thinking?
So any type of thing like
Are they logical or illogical?
I think it's illogical and primitive one. Yeah. So the desire and desires that one is born means people have a desire, and that people born with the desire that is the part of the unconscious mind.
Yeah, actually, I like to elaborate about this.
Yeah.
What it says is in the earlier stage of life, human beings are anything they do unconsciously.
Yeah.
Like a child cries when he doesn't get anything as he wants. No,
Yeah.
these are done unconsciously. But when he grows up, he learns the things like doing these are good things, these are bad things. They become now conscious.
Yeah.
They become now conscious. So what does it says is the earlier stage of life we do many things unconsciously.
Okay.
But once the childhood maturity is achieved, we do the thing
by
consciously.
consciously.
We learn. What we learn is we learn by
Yeah.
consciousness. I think that is the main concept.
About this topographic theory. So the interpretation of a dream, as we know, this is a very famous book actually written by the Sigmund Freud, which includes the three contents like condensation, displacement, and symbolization. These are the three basic content on the interpretation of the dreams. So other like projection and secondary elaboration also the part of the interpretation of the dream, but it does not contain the repression. Okay, so guys, let's talk about more about this psychiatric theories. So there is a complex that is named after a legendary Greek hero who unknowingly killed his father and married his mother. So this complex develop in the children in which stage of psychological development, Dr. Khadka? What do you think?
That occurs mainly in phallic phase.
Yeah. What are can you just elaborate these phases of psychological phases of the development?
That is oral phase, which starts from birth to 1.5 years,
Yeah.
and anal phase 1.5 years to 3 years,
Yeah.
and phallic or
Phallic or Oedipus
audible
phase.
phase 3
Yeah.
to 5 years,
Yeah.
and latency phase 5 to 12 years,
Yeah.
and genital phase greater than 12 years.
Okay. So, Dr. Virendra, can you just explain about this Electra complex and Oedipus complex? Can you do you know about this Electra and Oedipus complex?
I think that Electra means a love towards mother,
Female child.
female child,
Yeah.
female child towards father,
Yeah.
and Oedipus means male child towards their mother.
Yeah. Thank you, Dr. Birendra.
Thank you,
So,
Dr. Chaitanya.
Shall I elaborate this thing?
Yeah, you can.
Actually, what happens is in psychosocial development, there are, as Dr. Khadka already told, there are oral phase, anal phase, phallic phase, latency phase, and genital phase.
Yeah.
In oral phase, what child does is more focused towards the oral things.
Yeah.
Anything he keeps in the mouth, suckling, no, mouthing. These all happens in oral phase.
Yeah.
Okay. In anal phase, what happens is the child more considered like toilet, going to toilet. So toilet training starts in
Yeah.
anal phase. Phallic phase, now child start thinking of the sex, genitals.
Yeah.
Okay, so in phallic phase there are two things that happen already. Dr. Birendra explained: Electra complex and Oedipal complex. When a female child is in love with father and thinks that if I kill my mother,
Yeah.
father will be my husband.
Yeah.
Things like that. That is actually our these phases of development.
Electra complex,
That is eclectic complex. And what happens in Oedipal complex is male child thing doing sex with her mother.
Yeah.
Okay,
This is
these are the things.
Yeah.
So in after latency phase in general, in latency phase, all happen is the child. Actually, 90%. One question was their names. 90% of brain development occurs in up to 4 years of age.
Yeah.
One good question. But rest 10% occurs from 4 years to 25 years of age in the child.
Okay.
So that latency phase is the phases of neurological development, and genital phase is again after 2 billion years. Means here comes the stage of SMR. SMR is stage.
Yeah. So
Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Powder. So on the basis of these phases, if some problems depends upon the phase, like if say alcohol dependence is because of the oral phase, and schizophrenia because of if problem occur in the oral phase, schizophrenia can occur in the later on the
Yes.
yeah.
What does scientists say is
Yeah.
reappearances of oral
Oral
phases
phase.
of psychosocial development causes schizophrenia.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a good concept.
Yeah. Okay. Like that. Like if anal phase is appear again in the adulthood, means there are chances of the OCD, means obsessive compulsive disorder, and other like neurological, Dr. Podel mentioned about neurological disorder in a latency period because of the problem in the latency phase, and some genital phase problem can also occur. Some genital phase problem can occur in the because of the neurological disorder. So let's talk about more about Erik Erikson. Erik Erikson developed psychosocial development. There are 8 stages of Erik Erikson. What are the stages, Dr. Khadka? Can you explain about the Erik Erikson 8 stages of the psychosocial development?
Okay, Chaitanya. That stage 1 starts on already in birth to 18 months.
Yeah.
And in this stage 1,
Yeah.
we is in dilemma of trust versus mistrust.
Yeah.
In stage 2, it starts from 18 months to 3 years.
Yeah.
And
It's autonomy versus the same and
doubt.
Yeah.
In stage 3, start from 3 to 6 years.
Yeah.
And in this stage, we feel initiative versus guilty.
Yeah.
In stage 4, start from 6 to 12 years.
Yeah.
And in this stage, we mainly concern with industry
Versus inferiority. Yeah.
Just the teacher, peers, and adult outside the home important in shaping
Attitude towards
Towards
oneself.
and stage 5 2 to 18 years
Yeah.
and identity versus
Role
role
confusion.
confusion.
Yeah.
In stage 6 8 to 35 years intimacy versus
Isolation.
isolation.
Yeah.
In stage 7
Yeah.
5 to 65 years
Yeah.
generality versus
Stagnation.
stagnation.
Yeah.
In stage 8
Yeah.
develops after 65 years
Yeah.
ego integrity versus despair.
Oh, what a long stages! Oh my God! So, guys, I won't remember such 8 stages, but let's talk more about the psychosocial development. So, if parents encourage their child to ask the question, use her imagination, and choose some of her activities that are encouraging, it's called as initiative. Yeah. So there is another scientist. There was one scientist, Jane Pagets. Jane Pagets developed a cognitive developmental stage. There are stages of the cognitive development. So according to Jane Pagets, there are 4 stages sensory motor stage, pre-operational stage, concrete operational stage, and formal operational stage. It is on the basis of if sensory motor stage basically developed from birth to 2 years, and pre-operational is 2 to 7 years, and concrete operational is 7 to 11 years, and formal operational stage is more than 11 years, guys. So sensory motor stage basically symbolization develop, and animism is the on the pre-operational, and concrete operational stage is the reversibility and transitivity, and the concentration is a concrete operational stage, guys. So guys, so some interesting defense mechanism. We'd love defense mechanism. So Dr. Birendra, can you give some defense mechanism, mature defense mechanism? Can you explain the stages of mature defense mechanism, immature defense mechanism, and neurotic defense mechanism? What are the different defense mechanism, Dr. Birendra? Yeah, mature one is that anticipation, Dr. Birendra?
Yes, anticipation is the mature defense mechanism.
What are the other defense mechanism?
They are asceticism, humor,
Yeah, sublimation. Yeah,
suppression.
yeah. So what are the immature one?
The immature one are the regression,
Yeah,
that is acting out,
yeah,
blocking,
yeah,
hypochondriasis,
yeah,
introjection,
yeah,
and passive aggressive behavior.
yeah. So what are the neurotic defense mechanism? Neurotic.
Intellectualization,
Yeah,
rationalization,
yeah,
inhibition,
yeah.
ex-
Externalize.
externalization,
Yeah,
displacement,
Eh?
and isolation.
Oh, thank you, Dr. Virendra. Such a long and different type of the defense mechanism, guys. This is a very horrible defense mechanism. So, how can we remember? Here, guys, let's talk more about the defense mechanism. Guys, defense mechanism, which is characteristics of self destructions due to rays, is called as the retroflexion. This is a basic term, and
Means one should not angry.
yeah. A chronic alcoholic blame his family problem as the cause of his alcoholism. What is the type of a defense mechanism, Dr. Khadka? What do you think?
That may be a rationalization.
Yeah.
Whoa, thank you, yaar.
Actually, guilty is the person itself.
Yeah.
But he is blaming his family members for
members,
his drinking.
Yeah.
So he is rationalizing the things.
Yeah.
He rationalize.
Situation just like ours.
Yeah.
Getting PG seat also.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We are rationalizing.
Rationalizing.
Actually, we are not getting sufficient time to study.
Yeah.
Actually,
Family torture,
Questions
yeah.
are not good.
Yeah.
These make question pattern are very bad. We are rationalizing.
Durga
Yeah.
points, blah blah.
Yeah. So neurotic defense mechanism prefer to the separation of an idea from the effect that accompanies it is a isolation, guys. So the defense mechanism in phobia is called as Dr. Khadka. What do you call the defense mechanism in phobia?
That is called displacement.
Wow, you know that.
When somebody is phobic to height,
Yeah.
I should displace the patient from that height.
Yeah.
Simple the treatment is.
Yeah. Dr. Brenda, what is reaction formation? Sometimes you get more anger. What is reaction? Can you explain us about the reaction formation?
That is defense mechanism for obsessive
Compulsive
compulsion disorder.
Yeah, wow. You know that. Oh, Dr. Paudel, what is anal stage?
We already told that anal stage is between the we told no that between
1 to 5 years. 1 to 5 to 3 years.
Yeah, when some defect is there in anal stage of development,
Yeah.
then child can have obsessive compulsive
Yeah, disorder. Okay, thank you, doctor. So projection.
Actually, it is a fixation of stage for the obsessive compulsive disorder.
Yeah.
So the defect of OCD is
Because of
this.
So projection is a defense mechanism for the delusion and hallucination. So hysteria develops due to fixation in the phallic stage, guys. Phallic stage hysteria develops due to the fixation in the phallic phase, and the traits of being talkative or silent and sociable or reducive are described under the dimension of the personality called as the extraversion, guys.
There are two terms: introvert and extrovert.
Yeah.
Extrovert.
Yeah.
Introvert is one who doesn't talk much.
Yeah.
Extrovert.
Like Dr. Virendra, is that?
Yeah. he
Introvert.
doesn't talk much.
Yeah.
And we are extroverted.
Yeah.
So much
Like
extroverted.
Prakash Kalkar talks
Yeah.
to
Every
more
girls,
friendly,
friends,
more
everybody.
friendly,
Yeah. Oh, guys,
Not bad thing.
yeah, it's good. It depends upon the situation. So, guys, thank you guys for such a nice and lovely discussion. We'll present next podcast on the psychiatry discussion. Thank you, everybody.
ये बस उसमें